Federal Risk and Authorization Management Program will work with the National Institute of Standards and Technology to use automation to speed up the certification process. Adding open security controls assessment language could speed that certification process up a lot. Ashley Mahan is Director of FedRAMP at the General Services Administration. Ashley, welcome. Thanks for coming on the program. The whole point of FedRAMP originally was to give agencies a platform that they could use over and over again. How is the work that you're doing getting you more toward that goal?
Hi, Francis. Thanks so much for having me. So certainly the use of cloud has helped the government be more resilient and shift to new ways of work during this time, which largely the workforce is remote. And this shift has really emphasized the value and need for secure cloud offerings and FedRAMP. And across the program, as you mentioned, that do want to use many framework that we have, we've seen cloud products this year be reused over 50% more than from last year. And also since March, we've seen more or less a doubling, or roughly about 3,000 reusability requests from agencies looking at these FedRAMP authorized products and determining if they're a right fit for their agency. So as a program, we've really shifted into high gear over the past year, helping agencies work with industry to authorize these products, as well as work hand in hand with industry to help them navigate the authorization process.
Is there some event or series of events that's caused this inflection point, Ashley, or do you think this is just the growth and maturation of the process as it was originally intended?
I see the growth and maturation of the process as it's originally intended. I'd say that cloud brings an incredible amount of innovation to government to help us enable our missions across government. And we've seen, agencies time and time again, and especially this past year, look at these cloud products to help them be productive with a workforce that's largely working from home.
In the very beginnings of the FedRAMP process, one of the challenges was this reuse, the reuse idea, getting an agency to say it's okay if we do the same thing that somebody else did. Everybody thought that they were so dramatically different than the other agencies. What's culturally happened, do you think, over the last couple of years and over the period that you just cited that's caused agencies to kind of maybe grow out of that unique perspective on themselves?
Well, I would say as a program, we've really helped in understanding our customers, agencies, industry, and what their perspectives are in going through this authorization process. And over the past couple of years, we've carved out really 4 focus areas. Automation, fundamentally, we want to make things faster and make things better from a resource standpoint. So cloud service providers can go through this process much more efficiently. We want to provide more learning opportunities for the community, industry, as well as agencies. And one of the things that we did this year was this agency liaison program, where with the trainer model, working with each agency point of contact, giving them the resources they need to be successful with FedRAMP at their agency. As well as we want to continue to grow that FedRAMP marketplace, and then finally just continue to keep things simple. This authorization process, it's technical, it's complex. We want to try to keep it simple wherever possible.
I mentioned automation as a piece of that at the beginning of this conversation, Ashley. What does that look like? What parts of it can you automate, and what parts of it have to stay manual so that an agency can be confident about the certifications?
Well, so when we were developing these 4 focus areas, we also wanted to carve out initiatives taking the end-to-end customer journey in mind and deliberately creating efficiencies that would have the maximum positive impact, whether if you're an agency and you're working with an industry provider going through this process, or if you're an industry cloud provider and trying to navigate and go through this process. And so what we're seeing is, from an automation standpoint, we've been working really closely with the National Institute of Standards and Technology on this open security control assessment language. And basically what that is all of the security materials that we have today are all manually created. They're in documents, they're in PDFs, and it's really hard for, technology or innovation to be applied. And so with OSCAL, we're creating a standardized machine-readable language, more or less code, that then we can apply a lot of really neat tooling and technology to this process. So the security deliverables can be read by machines, and a lot of efficiencies from an automation standpoint can be applied.
What's the end result that will have for a company that maybe is just entering the process for the first time, Ashley? How will it look different than it looks today?
So again, we recognize that industries takes a lot of time to prepare these documents and get ready for the authorization process. Agencies have to review all these materials, and then finally there's a continuous process at the end of the authorization cycle. It continues on to make sure that the security posture is kept up to snuff, right, throughout any time an agency is using these cloud products. And so with that said, the audit Moscow, we think will have positive impacts from an automation standpoint with every point in a customer's journey here. So in developing these deliverables with having a machine readable language or developing a code, we think in turn agencies can apply technology to review these materials a lot faster. And then also industry will have the ability to maintain these deliverables that can then be consistently reviewed and constantly reviewed by agencies to make sure the security posture is on point.
A little bit less than a minute left, Ashley. Are you seeing any kind of a COVID impact at FedRAMP, the way that agencies are coming to you, the kinds of questions they're asking, the kinds of services that they want, the way that you're interacting with vendors at all? Any kind of a COVID impact at all?
I just say we have a surge across the board. We constantly want to be there for our customers. We have agencies looking to authorize more products. I mean, just in the last year, we've had more cloud products authorized through FedRAMP than any other year, as well as that reusability effect that I mentioned a little earlier, as well as we have a lot of industry partners that are looking to come through the process and get authorized. So you're really seeing government agencies want to innovate, want to provide these great capabilities to the remote workforce to help enable them working productively from home.
Ashley Mahan, thanks very much.
Thank you.